are the 10 worst foods to eat if you have high blood pressure? Number 1. Canned soup or broth. 1 can of soup, if it's not low sodium, or 1 can of chicken broth can give you more than half of your daily salt allowance. So if you have high blood pressure and you're eating canned soup, you need to be looking for the low sodium varieties. Now this may seem obvious to a lot of you, but it is not obvious to everyone, so look for low sodium versions of soup. Make your broth and stock at home if you can, or just get the low sodium version in a box and add a little salt if you need it. Don't be fooled by words like organic or healthy or even sometimes low sodium canned soup. Some of those things still are very high in sodium. Number 2. Pickles. Pickles are very high in sodium and they don't have a lot of nutritional value in them except for the fact that they are absolutely delicious. So if you need to eat pickles, just have 1 slice of that pickle and see if that will satisfy your salt pickle craving. Number 3. High sodium frozen foods. There are all these different options of frozen foods now, especially if you're looking for vegan options or quick options. You will see vegan, you will see organic, you will see vegetarian, but do not assume that those titles low sodium, in fact they probably don't. Some frozen meals have between 1,000 and up to 3,000 milligrams of sodium in a day. If you're trying to keep your daily intake below 2,300 milligrams, then boy, one of those meals can blow it out of the water. So what do you need to do? You need to learn to read food labels and try to pick meals that have less than 500 milligrams sodium. Number 4. Sugar sodas and sugar-sweetened drinks. There is a link or an association between consuming sugar-sweetened drinks and development of high blood pressure. Now whether that's because of the obesity that comes along with it, with uncontrolled diabetes, sometimes it's hard to know, but there certainly seems to be a link between drinking sodas and fruit juices and sweet tea and the development of high blood pressure. Now this is not the sugar that's in an apple or a peach. This is the sugar that's added to sweet tea and sodas and all of those energy drinks that you buy at the store, plus those added sugars, and those drinks don't have any nutritional value. When you have a piece of fruit that has things like nutrients and fiber in it, so it can offset the sugar that's in those foods. Number 5. Foods with added sugar such as cookies and candy and donuts. All those things also can increase your risk of obesity, and obesity is definitely a risk factor for high blood pressure, so try to cut out as many of those as you can. These things also has very high content of sodium hiding in these baked items, so be very aware of these sodium allowances while going for these high sugar and salt-rich items. Number 6. Processed meats. There is nothing that's easier or more simple or more ingrained in our society as taking a slice of bologna or ham, putting it on a sandwich and having a quick lunch. It's easy. It's quick. It's something you've been doing for all of your life. The problem is that those processed meats, whether or not it's the bologna or the ham or the bacon or the sausage, all come with a lot of extra sodium, and that sodium can raise your blood pressure, so try to limit your consumption of those processed meats. You know, if you have to go ahead and get the low sodium or no sodium version or do some homemade cooking, make some homemade chicken breasts and use them on your sandwiches instead of sliced chicken from the deli cap. Number 7. Fried foods. It is obvious as it gets. More high fat, high salt is going to be very harmful for your blood pressure. Number 8. Pizza. Pizza is bad for your blood pressure not because it is inherently bad for you, but because we often load it with things that are high salt, from the tomato sauce, to the crust, to the pepperoni, to the sausage. All those things are high salt. So you have layer upon layer upon layer of things that can raise your blood pressure, so cut out your pizza or make it at home. Or you can ask somebody to create a healthy or low sodium pizza whereby you use the crust in olive oil. On top, fresh herbs and fresh vegetables. Leave off the processed meat. Leave off as much cheese as you can, and so yes, you can still have your pizza, and it may be a veggie pizza, better for your health, and you can still make it taste good down to the final. Number 9. Hot dogs. Hot dogs are processed meats having high content of sodium, which adversely affects your blood pressure. Number 10. Ultra-processed foods. These can contribute to both high blood pressure and obesity. Now why is that? Ultra-processed foods, or foods that have been processed over and over again and often lose much of their nutritional value, and instead of that nutritional value that comes with whole foods like the vitamins and the minerals and the fiber and the nutrients, over and above, it's coupled with sugar and fat and salt to create the flavor that it needs to taste good without all those fresh ingredients. So ultra-processed foods are things that you buy at the store often that have tons of ingredients listed on there, and those because they have fillers and often high sugar, high fat, high salt can contribute to weight gain and also can contribute to worsening high blood pressure. So limit those as much as you can or try to supplement ultra-processed foods with healthy foods from the fruit and vegetable section of the store. The bottom line is, learn to change your taste buds so you don't need as much salt and sugar in your foods. Learn to read a food label and you can do wonders for managing your blood pressure at home.